Hey guys, what's up? This is Eurymachus, and today I'm going to do a guide on Noobs, alright? So, first, as you can see, I'm using my M16A3. It's exactly on par with the regular M16A3, except it has an ACOG scope on it, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. And I'm also using my MP5A4, smoke grenades, and my tracker knife and squirt pistol, but I don't get any kills with my tracker knife. Now this first kill, I'm not quite used to this weak 5-6 shot kill, so I almost made the wrong mistake with going away. And then this M32 noob gets me, but that's besides the point. Today I'm going to tell you noobs how to pwn in combat arms without hacks. However, you might need some Eurymachus cheat codes. You just contact me if you want to get in on some of the action. Alright, so I'm using these smoke grenades to cover my position because when you don't have firepower and you don't have aim, you gotta use surprise. Look at that, surprise and a nice multi with the noobiest weapon in the entire game. Oh, and you might not want to step on mines. Now, this trick only works so many times, so if you spam it too much, that is gonna get you killed. So you're gonna want to be careful. That's a problem with a lot of noobs nowadays. They don't know how to switch up their routine. So you got to think carefully. There's only like 5 or 6 routes that you can actually take. So if you can switch it up effectively and efficiently, you're definitely going to win every single gunfight you encounter. Now, it doesn't matter what gun that I use, because it's the way that you play that matters more than the kind of gun that you use. However, when you're doing long range sniping, even if you're doing, like, crossovers are pretty much the only thing you can do when you're doing long range sniping. So you're definitely going to need some skills there. Now, right here, I had to go do something for my mom, so it's going to be like a little pause and then I'll get back to it. Alright, so, the M16A3, has very high recoil, very bad spread pattern, very bad accuracy, and pretty bad fire rate. So this is not an excuse. This may be the worst gun in the game, but if I can pwn with it, you can too. Alright, so I'm on alpha side. There's tons of routes to get to Bravo. Alright, to get into the Bravo spawn. So if you're playing oil rig, what you're going to want to utilize, you want to look around for passages that people don't normally use. Now the fat corridor to my right, the fat corridor and the table corridor is generally where they're going to be rushing at, because that's the main place. And also, there's also this middle one that's surrounded by water, but they usually don't go down that way because that's a death trap. But then again, you might encounter some noobs sometimes. So you're gonna definitely want to watch out for that as you're taking each route. Now, these smokes are really good for hiding your position, which is mainly what I use it for. But at the end, I use it kind of as a distraction, because in each game, you're generally going to be playing new people. So you're gonna want to, you can use your old tactics over and over again as long as you switch them up. Now, you can use smoke as a diversion, or you can use it as cover. When I use it as a diversion, basically, you need to make sure that the enemy thinks that you're going through the smoke each and every time. So it might take 2 or 3 times. But after you have the enemies trained on the smoke, so they definitely know. So you gotta be very careful. You gotta at least die 1 or 2 times right after you get past the smoke, because then they're gonna know you're going through the smoke. Then this works only 1 or 2 times. You can use the smoke as a great diversion. So you throw the smoke in the opposite direction that you're going, so that they are looking that way. Then you go in another way, you flank your enemies, and then you get that kill. Now, at long ranges, you're gonna want to definitely burst or tap fire. If you're going full auto, it doesn't matter how many bullets you shoot. If you don't hit any of them, it doesn't mean crap. Alright, so smoke can also be good for your enemies to be confused as to where they are shooting. So when I threw the smoke down the corridor, basically it made my enemies. If you put your enemies in the smoke, they can't see crap. So it doesn't matter if you're in the smoke. If they're in the smoke, they are totally screwed. Now watch. This is a really nice double. If you can trap your enemies in a spot where you have the advantage, generally you're gonna win that gunfight. So you're gonna want to do that as much as possible. Generally, places with higher elevation have a better chance to outshoot the enemy on a lower position, because it's easier to find the head, locate the head, because you're going to be looking at the top of the head and the front of the head, depending on which way your enemy is pointing at. And a lot of times, if you're at the top, you can jump down, and that half a second or so that it takes for them to move around to adjust from your old position to your new position is just enough time to kill them. However, if you're one of those people who just can't aim, can't control recoil, and can't do anything, what I suggest you to do is use smoke. I know grenades can get you 1 or 3 kills, but smoke is honestly much better. You're going to want to use that smoke to cover your tracks, because if you can get them right next to them and they don't know you're there, you're obviously, there's like no way that you're going to lose that fight. So I honestly hope that my viewers can at least do that. Now, another big problem that I know that a lot of people have is laggy computers. Now, it's not necessarily Combat Arms' fault, even though Combat Arms has grown laggier and laggier over the years, but that's only because they've added new content in. So it's not always their fault. So a lot of you must be used to old Combat Arms and no lag. So my only solution to you is get a new computer. You crying about it to Combat Arms or Nexon is not going to fix anything. Trust me. They're not going to change their programming, because if they change it, that means that they're going to have to take out a lot of things, a lot of weapons, a lot of attractive, appealing, entertaining parts of Combat Arms that a lot of people just play it for. If they do that, they're going to lose a lot of their revenue, and when they lose money, they will be pissed off at you. And then it's just not a good thing. They're probably not going to do that just for one person. Alright, so another thing that you're going to want to do, even if you're lagging, even if you're like doing hardcore lag, like you have a 2 frames per second, you can kill anyone that's not looking at you. I'm pretty sure about that. But I don't know. Like right here, it's terribly hard to outshoot someone from long distances. So if you're not that kind of person, then you're going to want to try to get into close quarters as much as possible. Alright, so a lot of people, one big thing I wanted to also talk about today was the G36E. Now, the G36E is a great weapon, don't get me wrong about that, but tap firing is ridiculously hard for some people. Because over my years, I've had 3 computers that I played Combat Arms with. My HP Pavilion, which has a 2.1 gigahertz, my laptop, which I had to return, it had a 2.6 gigahertz dual core, and my current iMac, which has a 3.06 quad core. So I've dealt with almost the entire spectrum of computers. So I know a lot of people, they have the standard 2.1 to 2.4 gigahertz. So my only solution for you is, if you want to use the G36C, you're not going to have any luck tap firing the G36C, because tap firing a G36C, it doesn't matter how you click, it matters how your computer processes your click from your mouse, turns it into your processor, and in turn it changes from that processor and it's transferred to Combat Arms database. So it doesn't, even if your connection is terribly bad, you can still tap fire a G36C. Now the problem is the processor. There's really nothing you can do for a processor. Even if you buy a new processor, it probably won't be compatible with your computer, because a lot of computers that are sold that are crap are HP. So you're going to want to be very careful with that. So HP computers are basically, they optimize their computers for the cheapest price. So they're going to use the best processor that they can for their motherboard. So if people say upgrade your PC, no, that doesn't work all the time. So my recommendation: go outside, get an $800 PC. All you need is at least 3.4 gigahertz, and you're good to go. But if you want to get into recording and stuff like I am, then you're gonna want at least a 2.6 gigahertz, because if you're not recording on HD, people aren't gonna want to watch. I'm actually quite confused how Baxter got views, but I don't know. It's a weird world. I mean, like, look at that. I'm doing this in HD, and it's not really laggy, but I know that I heard that you need to, if you're gonna become a commentator, you're gonna want to record your videos in HD. But I don't think it really matters as long as the gameplay looks fun, entertaining, and thought-provoking, right? Alright, so to wrap up my noob guide, you need to have a gun, you need a computer, a mouse, eyes. You don't need a brain, you just need eyes. You need hands, preferably 2 hands. And you're gonna need a keyboard. Alright, so when you get into Combat Arms and you get into a game, first thing you want to do, you want to make sure that you have a gun and you know how to shoot that gun. Alright, so to shoot, you need to press the left click button. You know what I mean? I know what I mean, but do you know what I mean? This guide is for you guys. Alright, so you're going to want to make sure that you know what your left click button is. How to shoot. I put it for left click, but I know you might have put it for like Q or P or something. Alright, so you're gonna want to find out what button you have to press in order to shoot. Now, next thing you want to do, you're gonna want to keep moving your mouse around until you find a comfortable sensitivity that you are comfortable with. Now, I can tell you my sensitivity, it's between 23 and 37, but it won't do crap for you because each mouse is different. Each computer that reads the mouse, well, it's somewhat generic because it is generally a generic brand, but there's also, you can change the settings of your mouse just by going to control panel and going to hardware, and you can change you can make it fast, slow, whatever you want. And also in this game you can also change the sensitivity. Now, another big problem that I've noticed with a lot of noobs is they do not know how to aim. Now, I'm going to teach you in like a minute. Okay, so you need to find your enemy. You need to know where your enemy is, okay? And then after you know where your enemy is, you're going to want to follow them with your mouse. Just try doing this in like a private, just do this to your teammates before you do this to enemies. Just try to follow your teammates with your mouse. And if you have a good friend, just tell him to jump around and just try to keep on following him with your mouse. Now, if you want to be a pro sniper like Amnesty or one of those awesome sniper montage people, it's not going to work for you. First, even if you have a great computer, you're going to also need really good skills. So just forget about trying those trick shots, and a gun is always better than a knife in Combat Arms. Alright guys, thanks for watching 35 for 16. This is Eurymachus, and have a nice day.